chronic fatigue, weight gain, anxiety, depression, joint pain, brittle nails, brain fog, feeling cold all the time. Guys, these are the signs of an underactive thyroid. Hey, this is Dr. Ernst, host of the AskDrErnst Show, and I know what you might be thinking. My thyroid's fine. My doctor tested it, but yet my numbers look normal. Guys, they're missing the mark tremendously. Conventional physicians only test 2 thyroid markers, yet there's over 10 that will reveal if your symptoms are because of an underactive thyroid, and I'm here to tell you this happens the majority of the time. Download my Thyroid Heal Thyself ebook and you'll find answers as to what you can do to burn fat, feel great, lose weight, get your energy back and your brain back, and it's all free. Simply text the word thyroid plus your name and email to 704-906-2094. And as a bonus, I'm hosting a free thyroid masterclass Saturday, August 16th. It's at 10 a.m. Text the word thyroid plus your name and email to 704-906-2094. Again, your name, your email, the word thyroid to 704-906-2094.
Would you like to experience a better night's sleep? Want to feel well rested and ready for your day? Discover an amazing solution with Celient Sleep Recovery. Our Celient Sleep Recovery products are made from a patented yarn embedded with a blend of 13 infrared active minerals. Celient technology never washes out. The benefits will last for their entire lifespan. Minerals reflect the body's own energy by using Celient infrared active technology, boosting your oxygen levels and improving circulation to reach REM sleep gracefully. Our customers love to comfortably sleep throughout the night because of Celient. We've conducted 9 independent clinical studies by well-respected scientific institutions and universities that prove the many positive effects Celient has on the body. Our technology is designed to help you achieve a refreshing sleep recovery. Get into bed to experience our smooth Celient Egyptian cotton blend sheets. Protect your mattress against the sands of time with our Celient mattress protectors. With our pillow protectors, you get the benefits of our recovery therapy. Explore new places and feel well rested throughout your journeys. Discover luxurious support that allows you to sleep in almost any position. Neck blankets are small and compact. You can bring them with you just about anywhere. Experience the foundation your body deserves. Start waking up refreshed and always ready for the day ahead. It's time to achieve the best sleep of your life to unlock your hidden potential. Start experiencing a better night's sleep with our Celient Sleep Recovery products today. Celient. Recycle your body's energy.
Beyond wine, we really care about health. The health of the planet and the health of each other. That's what inspired us to start this business. Our family of team members meets every morning for a group meditation, followed by an open gratitude session. We believe a sound mind with a focus on peace is the best instrument for change. Joint meditation is the cornerstone of our company culture, and it helps us remember what's important, spreading joy and love, just like our family growers. Our family is a collection of passionate, health-conscious individuals who love to laugh and enjoy each other's company. We eat seasonally, grow our own vegetables, cook together, and share wine. Our team is incredibly dedicated to our mission. Everything from sourcing the wines to answering service questions. Your natural wines are found and sourced around the world by our wine team. They taste every one, oversee their lab testing, and choose exactly which ones go in which box. If you order, your individual box will be packed by our incredibly hardworking fulfillment team. If you have any questions, your service requests will be handled by a wonderfully loving member experience family who only have one goal in mind, your 100% happiness. This video is put together by our talented media team, filmed and edited in-house, just like the rest of our artful media. From our unique creations to our printed lifestyle piece called A Matter of Taste. We put love into everything we do, and we hope to share it with you.
Hey, good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Yes, it's the show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you get to be set free from your health problems by becoming your own doctor. I'm your host, Dr. Ernst, and today we're exploring one of the most overlooked yet powerfully disruptive health conditions of the 21st century, thyroid dysfunction. What if what you're dealing with is because of your thyroid? Specifically, when we talk about thyroid hypothyroidism, or the underproduction of the thyroid hormones that we need for vibrance and life and energy and weight loss and all of what you're looking for when it comes to your health. Your thyroid gland is a very small gland inside your neck, but its impact on your health is absolutely massive. From the metabolism of your mood. Look, a lot of the anxiety, depression, sort of just, angst that most of us are dealing with today, it could be your thyroid. Also, in regards to fertility, could be your thyroid. Did you know that cardiovascular function, specifically cholesterol, has a lot to do with your thyroid? Did you know that your immune system has a tremendous amount to do with your thyroid? Did you know that your weight and your ability, the ease of it, has to do with your thyroid? And yet most people have no idea if they're actually suffering from what is known as subclinical hypothyroidism, because conventional medicine takes a simplistic look. They do not go deep enough in regards to actually testing your thyroid. So today we're going to be giving away Thyroid Heal Thyself. It's a free ebook that solves the epidemic of thyroid. I know you might be thinking to yourself, I don't have a thyroid problem. My doctor didn't say I have a thyroid problem. But what if it is your thyroid and the symptoms that you're dealing with are because of it? We're going to discuss the top 10 symptoms today that are plaguing so many Americans and connecting the dots to it could be your thyroid. Inside the ebook, tests that you need to ask your physician for, protocols and steps on how to solve this. All you have to do is text the word thyroid plus your name and email right now to 704-906-2094. I'll zip the ebook to you for free. And guys, get this, Saturday, August 16th is my masterclass. Look at people texting in already. Ding. The Thyroid Masterclass, Saturday, August 16th. 10 a.m. in the morning, absolutely free. We just finished the Diabetes Masterclass last week. 600 plus people online. Why don't you join the hundreds that are going to be breaking free from mood disorders, anxiety, depression, weight loss resistance, thinning hair, cold intolerance, hyper secretions of cholesterols and triglycerides. Like, these are the challenges of today. And it's all yours free. Just simply text the word thyroid plus your name and email. There they come to 704-906-2094. Let me set the stage with a little historical perspective about your thyroid. Back in the 1900s, hypothyroidism was extremely rare. Typically, it was tied to iodine deficiencies, and that was it. Most people, if they had a thyroid problem, had maybe like a goiter. There wasn't a lot of hypothyroidism like we see today. Now, partly because we've iodinized salt and put iodine in food, the rates of goiters have gone way down. But what has been replaced is hypothyroidism. If you fast forward to the 1950s and 1960s, we started seeing Hashimoto's disease, autoimmunity starting to show up. Now, in the early 2000s, the American Thyroid Association says, ready for this? 1 in 10 people in the United States have a thyroid problem. That's a lot, guys. 1 in 10. Today, it's estimated that 20 million Americans are taking a thyroid medication every single morning to try to manage their symptoms. And yet, if you listen to this, ready? According to the American Thyroid Association, an estimated 6 out of 10 Americans already have signs of hypothyroidism, even though their blood test is normal. More than half are struggling with things like fatigue, brain fog, weight gain, dry skin, constipation, mood swings, and they're never being told it's their thyroid, and that's precisely the problem that we're going to be here to fix today. So why this massive surge in hypothyroidism? Well, first and foremost, today, compared to the 1900s, we're living in a chemically toxic world. We're surrounded by fluoride in our water, bromine in a lot of baked food goods. It's a halogen. chlorine in our drinking water, swimming pools, even endocrine disruptors that are found in plastics and microplastics, personal care products. These chemicals displace iodine and make a havoc on thyroid functionality. In addition, heavy metals and chronic low-grade infections of Epstein-Barr virus or leaky gut, sleep deprivation, nutrient deficiencies because of us depleting the ground, all of this ends up becoming a cocktail for what we would call a thyroid catastrophe. And here's where it gets even worse. Conventional medicine, in my opinion, is using an outdated one-size-fits-all approach to diagnosing thyroid. They measure your TSH, or your thyroid stimulation hormone, and if that's within the normal range, they're like, nope, you're good, you don't have a thyroid problem. But TSH isn't technically a thyroid hormone. If you know this, it is the signal from your pituitary gland that tells your thyroid to make more hormone. It doesn't tell us if your thyroid is listening. It doesn't tell us if you're producing the right amount of hormone. It certainly doesn't tell us if you're converting inactive thyroid to active thyroid. And it tells us nothing about liver functionality and the ability to have toxic thyroid hormone or reverse T3 elevations. So let me make this abundantly clear in case you're somebody online today, listening, tuning in through the airways. If you're taking a thyroid medication, levothyroxine, Synthroid, Armothroid, Natrethroid, a glandular, but you've been told that your numbers are now normal, you may still have low free T3, high reverse T3, even autoimmune antibodies. So it could mean, even though your labs look perfect, that your body is still struggling and suffering. And that's the challenge of today. Functional medicine, of course, as you know, is a different approach. We look at every biomarker that has to do with the thyroid because we want to go deep enough. We even go deeper into nutrients, selenium, wildly important, zinc, iodine, vitamin D, looking at liver and gut function to confirm that the conversion of your thyroid hormone is actively happening. Here's what no one's talking about. Does the thyroid make thyroid hormone? Yes, but it's completely inactive. It's like handing you Mexican pesos and saying, go spend it. You would have to convert the Mexican pesos into US dollars. And the conversion takes place not in your thyroid, but in your liver and in your gut. So today we're going to dive deep into the top 10 symptoms of hypothyroidism that are often overlooked. And we're going to break down why they're connected to your thyroid and give you some simple tools that you can use to fix them, because this is what this show is about, empowering you to become your own doctor. Again, I highly encourage, if you've been taking thyroid medications for 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years, and you're wondering, can I actually get off of these and have a better life quality without having to pop a pill that's just masking my symptoms? Download the Thyroid Heal Thyself ebook. It contains the information you need to properly get tested and even turn your thyroid around quickly. Not only does it go through the history, but it discusses the top 3 reasons for hypothyroidism. And the best part is it gives you foods that destroy your thyroid, stay away from those. Foods that nourish your thyroid, go towards those. And a breakdown of the toxins that could be the reason why you have your thyroid challenge. Text your name and your email plus the word thyroid to 704-906-2094. We'll send it to you today. Okay, symptom number 1. We talked about this last week. Why am I so tired all the time? Chronic fatigue is the number 1 complaint of people that have a thyroid challenge, but it isn't being diagnosed. This is a bone-deep exhaustion that you just can't sleep with fix. You wake up groggy, you power through the day with caffeine and energy drinks, but you crash early in the part of the latter of the day or in the early evening. It's not just physical tiredness, but it's also mental tiredness, difficulty concentrating, irritability, even lack of motivation, like you just don't want to do things anymore. Classic signs of thyroid-related fatigue. At a biochemical level, it just makes sense. Your thyroid hormone is to regulate your basal metabolic rate, the energy currency of your body. It does this through producing T4 and T3, with T3 being active, and the T3 is what binds to the receptors and turns your mitochondria on and says, make more energy. Now, here's the kicker. Many people have fatigue, but have normal TSH levels, and they're being told everything's fine, it's not their thyroid. But you may actually have really low levels of free T3, or what's known as poor conversion. Your liver is not taking thyroid hormone number 4 and turning it into thyroid hormone number 3. So despite having perfect labs, your body is literally suffering. It's like trying to drive while the brake is still being pressed at 20, 30, 40, 50%. It's difficult. So what does conventional medicine do for this? They're going to say everything is fine. It's normal. It must be something else other than your thyroid. Or if your TSH is a little bit out of balance, they'll give you synthetic thyroid hormone, making the levels climb up in your blood, making the TSH come down, making your labs look good, but it doesn't affect, again, active thyroid number 3. Liver conversion proper. It doesn't change the rate at which your body utilizes it. So if you can't convert T3 to T4, even though your numbers look good now because you're medicated, you're still running on an empty tank no matter how much medication you take. So from a functional perspective, our first answer is going to be, wait a minute, why is this not happening? Is your liver congested? Testing for that. Is there microbiome breakdown in your gut? Is it leaking? Testing for that. Are you nutrient deficient? Selenium, iron, zinc, etc. Nutrient deficiency. The solutions involve simply optimizing the conversion pathways. For most people, your liver needs a good clean out and wash. Your gut needs to be sealed. The microbiome needs to be rebuilt. You need to replenish the nutrients that you're deficient in. But here's the struggle of today. So many people go, well, I don't know what I need. It's the value behind testing. In cases where fatigue is severe and persistent, almost always we see low levels of T3, high levels of reverse T3. That's a conversion challenge within the liver. Not going to be solved by medicating. We need to go deep enough into the liver and activate phase 1 and phase 2 detox processes, supplements, diet, and even enzymes. So if you're dragging yourself throughout the days and you need caffeine to feel like you're a human, you should be asking yourself, why am I so tired all the time? And could it be my thyroid? It certainly could. Okay, number 2, unexplained weight gain. What I mean by this is, despite you doing everything right, you're dieting, you're exercising, you're doing what the world says you should do. You eat clean, you watch your numbers, but yet the scale's creeping up. For many people, it feels like their body's kind of betraying them, or like we're getting older and we think our metabolism is slowing down because we're post 40, but that is not the case, guys. The reality is thyroid hormones are the command center for how fast or slow you burn fat for energy. When your thyroid hormone production is dropping, your metabolism switches into what's called conversation mode or conservation mode, not conversation. We're having a conversation. Conversation. Conservation mode. There we go. See, this is the challenge with live, right? So if I make a subtle mistake, give me some credit. They're so close. The words sound the same, but conservation is when we store and save things. So your body does not burn fat, particularly around your abdomens and your thigh and your hips. Conventional medicine will often dismiss this weight gain as something lifestyle related. You're told you're just not exercising enough, or you need to eat less, cut your carbs and calories and all this kind of stuff out. But if your metabolism is compromised because your metabolism from your thyroid hormones is not working properly, you cannot fight this off in the gym. Standard treatments again, prescriptions to balance T4 and TSH. But again, it's assuming and hoping that your body converts it properly. For many of us, again, if we have elevations in reverse T3, which is a toxic version of thyroid hormone, then you cannot physically lose weight. It would be like dropping an anchor in the ground and trying to run and saying, well, just run harder to lose more weight. No, let go of this anchor and let your body do what it's supposed to do. In functional medicine, if we're going to look at your weight loss resistance, not only does it involve doing a full thyroid panel to identify, is it a conversion challenge? Is it a receptor issue? Are you not binding the hormone? Is it an autoimmunity, which is present about 90% of the time? We have to look at other hormones as well. Insulin, prediabetes, leptin, weight loss resistance. If we use nutritional pathways and targeted chelation detoxification, we can help your body to switch into a burning mode for fat. You can use things like fasting to improve insulin. We can use detoxification to clean out the liver. We can actually bind chemicals, hormones, and heavy metals and pesticides to open up the receptors. So when you support your thyroid at the root level, watch this, and you remove the metabolic interferences, weight loss becomes easy, sustainable, and no longer frustrating. Your body is designed to heal when it's given the right tools. So don't fall for the calorie myths. Instead, you should be asking your questions of, I wonder if my thyroid is out of balance. But again, you can't just go to your primary physician, TSH, T4 testing. It's only looking at the top of the iceberg. There are so many multiple layers underneath that could come back positive if you get the right testing done. Symptom number 3, this is a big one, brain fog and depression. They are the hallmark signs of a low thyroid function starting to kick in from the beginning. Though they're frequently mistaken for being psychological or age-related, brain fog usually presents as difficulty focusing, having hard times pulling memories or storing new memories, and just a sense of mental dullness. Depression can also manifest as sadness, lack of motivation, even emotional numbness. But both of these, depression and brain fog, are rooted behind thyroid functionality. And here's why. T3, active thyroid hormone, it makes your brain more sensitive to serotonin and dopamine. This is wildly important. These are the hormones that make you feel good. So when your thyroid hormones are deficient, the sensitivity diminishes, and this results in irritability. It results in feelings of hopelessness, anxiety, memory recall can slow down, multitasking becomes difficult, making even everyday tasks seem a little overwhelming. Again, the challenge is looking at TSH conventionally is going to fall short. What you need to look at are free T3, reverse T3, thyroid antibodies, TPO, the production enzyme, thyroglobulin antibody, the actual hormone itself. Many times, without adequate levels of free T3, your brain cells themselves are struggling to produce energy. So mental clarity can drop. So in functional medicine, we know there's a direct brain to thyroid connection. And all aspects of your thyroid health pair deeply with neurotransmitter pathways, inflammation, and even nutritional deficiencies. Watch this. B12, folate, omega-3s, and vitamin D will often make the symptoms worse. So you might think to yourself like, okay, B12 is supposed to be for energy. Folate's supposed to be for energy. Omega-3 is anti-inflammatory. D3 makes my body feel better. But if your thyroid is struggling, taking these nutrients that should make you energetic and feel alive actually cause your symptoms to get worse. The solution involves rebalancing your brain to your thyroid. Again, using different styles of supplementation. S-adenylmethionine, adaptogenic herbs to support the hypothalamic pituitary axis. Working on your gut because there's a connection. Over 90% of serotonin, the hormone that makes you feel really good, is found in your gut. So as your thyroid becomes balanced by working on your intestines and your nervous system and even your liver and balancing your nutritional deficiencies, often we find patients say, my focus is coming back, my memory's coming back, my emotional resilience is elevating, my fog is lifting, I'm happier, I feel better, start losing weight. Remember, you're not broken. It might just be biochemically imbalanced, and your thyroid could be clearly indicating if you do enough testing. Okay, symptom number 4, constipation. This is a big deal, especially for most of us over the age of 50. You'll know what I'm talking about if you're 50 or over. Constipation is less glamorous to discuss, but of course it's very common, and it is a symptom of hypothyroidism. It's often brushed off for age, or you're just not eating enough fiber, or you need more laxatives in your daily routine. But the root cause of constipation is almost always a sluggish thyroid. If you're not having regular bowel movements, at least 2 per day, it's time to consider, hey, what if it's coming from your thyroid? Thyroid hormones, again, specifically T3, active thyroid hormone, is essential for your intestines to move. It stimulates the muscles that cause contractions that move food and waste through your colon. So when your thyroid is low, peristalsis slows down. Thus, stool stays too long in the intestines. It leads to bloating, abdominal discomfort, and can even lead to shutdown. But the bigger issue is it leads to the reabsorption of toxins, which makes the condition worse in the first place. Conventional medicine is generally going to throw fiber stool softeners or laxatives at you. But the problem is often compounded by missing the diagnosis. Okay? Normal TSH can mislead doctors into thinking that your thyroid is working perfectly. What we often see is slightly elevated levels of TSH, slightly elevated decreased levels of T4, but drastically lower levels of T3 with elevated reverse T3. We can even start looking for, again, leaky gut, microbiome disturbances. They're huge key players with it. When you start to activate the conversion process in your liver and your gut, and your thyroid hormones start to lift at the sub-level, reverse T3 drops, T3 elevates, peristalsis kicks back in, your digestive system starts moving, and you just simply start feeling better. We can also use things like magnesium, vitamin C, probiotics to help support this. But remember, it's the root cause that's the challenge in the first place. All right, symptom number 5, cold hands and cold feet. This is a big challenge for a lot of people. If you are always cold all the time, despite everybody else saying it's roasting out there, and you're wearing socks to bed in the summer, or even you're running the air condition down to like 60, or you're raising it up from 68 to 78, cold sensitivity, especially in your extremities, is a textbook symptom of hypothyroidism. Your thyroid regulates thermogenesis, the ability for you to generate heat. It does this by activating the mitochondria and increasing circulation. So when thyroid hormone levels drop, your cells don't produce enough energy and your blood vessels start to constrict simply so that they conserve heat, thus causing your hands and feet to go cold, sometimes even numb and tingling. TSH alone will not find this picture. What you're often almost always going to find is elevated levels of reverse T3. It blocks the binding of the thyroid hormone within the receptors, making it almost impossible for your body to produce heat and energy. The final solution is going to be getting the correct levels of testing so you know exactly what's going on. I cannot stress this enough. To go look at your classic panels run annually by your medical physician and to look at TSH and T4 and say, they're normal, I'm good, I don't have a thyroid problem. That is old school mantra. It doesn't work anymore. You need to dig deep. All of the tests that you should be asking for are in the Thyroid Heal Thyself ebook with explanations of what they mean, their significance, and what levels you should be at versus what the lab itself says. Often what we find is TSH is normal, T4 is normal, but yet there's low T3. That's a conversion problem. There's high T3. That's a liver toxicity issue. There's antibodies present. That's an autoimmunity where the body is physically attacking the production, and TSH and T4 can still look normal. Maybe you're somebody who's been taking a thyroid medication for 5 plus 10, 15, 20 years, and you're going, can I actually get off of this? The solutions are found in the Thyroid Heal Thyself ebook. Simply text your name and your email plus the word thyroid to 704-906-2094, and you get access to the masterclass Saturday, August 16th, where I will show you how to solve this, how to get the right testing at discounted rates, how to go down the root causes of how to stimulate your thyroid hormone and get your life, energy, vibrance back so you can lose weight, feel great, have your hair thicken, all of the above. That should be a praise Jesus, hallelujah, amen. It can happen. Simply pick up the phone and text the word thyroid plus your name and email to 704-906-2094. So we've talked about chronic fatigue, stubborn weight gain, persistent brain fog, even things like digestive distress and constipation. But when we come back, we're going to go through the next 5 most common symptoms that are connected to thyroid, even though you didn't know it. And some of these are going to shock you because it has to do with your immune system. It has to do with your cardiovascular system, even your cholesterol. And so take a moment right now. Start pulling out your notes to get ready. We have a commercial break coming up, but this is the time to text the word thyroid with your name and email to grab the ebook and join us for the masterclass. 704-906-2094. We just need your name, your email, the word thyroid. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Don't go away. We will be right back.
What if we told you coffee was good for you?
Coffee is the single highest source of antioxidants in the Western diet. More antioxidants than kale, more antioxidants than 70% dark chocolate, and more antioxidants than blueberries.
In fact, what if we told you that coffee is really good for you?
Research shows that 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day dramatically enhances performance in high-intensity exercise, improves memory, reaction times, and overall cognitive function, decreases risk of depression, promotes weight loss by boosting metabolic rates, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes up to 40%, decreases risk of liver cancer up to 71%, reduces risk of Parkinson's up to 30%, and decreases risk of Alzheimer's up to 65%. Overall, coffee drinkers live longer. People who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day have about a 15% lower risk of premature mortality compared to people who don't drink coffee.
And what if we told you that the health benefits of coffee could actually be increased through conscious roasting, sourcing, and processing? Introducing Purity, a health-conscious coffee company. At Purity, we've brought together a world-class team to analyze every step in the production chain from cherry to cup. We make decisions with only one thing in mind: how can we make the healthiest coffee in the world? Here's our 3-step process. Step 1, we search the world for the highest quality organic green beans that meet our exacting standards. Way less than 1% of coffee worldwide fit our sourcing criteria. Step 2, we test, and test again to create a specific roasting protocol for each harvest that maximizes healthy compounds and minimizes toxins. Step 3, we nitrogen pack our coffee within 48 hours of roasting and deliver to your door every 2 weeks to ensure maximum freshness. The result is the ultimate coffee drinking experience. You'll not only taste the difference in our clean, healthy coffee, with Purity, you'll feel the difference.
Our coffee club members report a bright, alert lift with less jitters than regular coffee and much more gentle on the stomach.
Sign up for Purity today, and you'll never have to worry about your source for healthy coffee again.
Wine is a fermented beverage that has been enjoyed by humanity for over 8,000 years. Our ancestors believed in its magical healing powers. Wine has been a well-studied part of our history, but recently it's changed. The wines sold today in most stores and restaurants are not the same wines enjoyed by our ancestors. Today, wine is a highly processed, factory-made product filled with toxins and industrial additives. The grapes are farmed with machines and heavy pesticide use, and the marketing is misleading and dishonest. Wines free from this human intervention still exist. They're called natural wines. These wines are a return to the old way of making and enjoying wine. Free from commercial additives, high sugar, and heavy alcohol content, these wines are a beautiful expression of nature. They're also extremely rare. Less than 1% of the world's wines are grown to this standard. They're made in hyper-small quantities by family farmers who work by hand using ancient practices. This is the kind of wine that derive from wine sources. We search the globe looking for pure natural wines, carefully nurtured by family growers who work with nature, and we take it a step further, sourcing wines that meet our strict criteria for farming, purity, and taste. We only work with organically grown wines, farmed without irrigation and without heavy machinery. Grapes are hand-picked and then fermented using native wild yeast, not the industry standard GMO yeasts. Our wines are pure, lab-tested by an independent enologist for metrics including alcohol and sugar. They also taste extraordinary, bright, fresh, and full of life. They jump out of the glass because they aren't sterilized or heavily processed.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. Welcome back. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Yes, it's the show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free as you live life the way it was intended, becoming a purveyor for your health, your own physician, if you will. I'm your host, Dr. Ernst, and if you're just joining us, we're diving deep into the heart of part 2 of an expose on the most misunderstood, critically important gland in your body, your thyroid, asking the question, could your symptoms be from an underactive thyroid? In the beginning of this segment, we talked about chronic fatigue, that deep, unshakable exhaustion that no matter how much you sleep, you can't seem to bounce back because your thyroid controls your energy output. Then we explored unexplained weight gain, why calories are no longer the culprit, but instead it's a sluggish metabolism governed by poor thyroid conversion. We're not actually making active thyroid hormone. Then we talked about brain fog and depression, mental dullness, emotional flatness, anxieties that rise when thyroid hormones start to fail and the brain cannot be sensitive to its neurotransmitters. Then we discussed constipation, a symptom not just of your digestion, but of the mobility and the ability for adequate levels of thyroid hormones to make your colon move physically. And then we also discussed cold hands and cold feet, the seemingly benign complaint that is literally a glaring red flag of poor thermogenesis, the ability for your body to make heat, and mitochondrial output, all of which are rooted in suboptimal thyroid output. Listen, unfortunately, each of these symptoms is usually treated in isolation by conventional physicians. Fatigue, with stimulants and caffeine and energy drinks. Depression with SSRIs and antidepressants. Constipation with fiber and laxatives. Weight gain with crash diets. And cold hands being told it's just part of living life and that you're getting older. But the connection is very common to a thread of underperforming thyroid activity. So if you missed segment 1, I encourage you, go to the podcast as soon as the show ends, re-download, listen to it. Segment 2 is going to pick up with the continuation of the symptoms, now a little bit more ominous. The fact that most of us are losing our hair and our eyebrows, infertility in females, and in males technically too. Muscle weakness, cramps, aching joints, elevated cholesterols, and fluid retention with poofiness to our skin, bags under our eyes, swollen face, etc. If you are someone you know is struggling with these or has a thyroid problem, maybe you've already been diagnosed and you're taking a medication and you want out, Thyroid Heal Thyself ebook is yours free. It has the functional steps to overcoming thyroid conditions and the tests that you need to ask your doctors to get, because as we discussed, conventional physicians, TSH, T4 is not enough to diagnose a thyroid as being active, working, or underactive, not working. Okay, thinning hair and eyebrow loss. One of the most emotionally distressing symptoms of hypothyroidism is the fact that our hair starts to thin out, usually on top of our head, and for a lot of people, the outer third of your eyebrows. So if you're ever wondering, like, where is my eyebrow going? It seems like it's receding towards my nose. That's a sign of a thyroid problem. And we're not just talking about vanity. We're talking about the fact that hair, ready for this, is a visible signal of the internal health of your body. When you're nutrient depleted or hormones are out of balance, it often shows up as thinning hair. Thyroid hormones play a direct role in the productivity of your hair, specifically thyroid hormone number 3, T3, active thyroid hormone. It stimulates the activity of the matrix within your hair, which is responsible for hair growth. When T3 levels are low and they can't reach the follicles, the hair follicles themselves go into what's called a resting phase. Strands start to fall out easier. Simply just by washing or brushing your hair, you'll start to see your hair pile up. Over time, this can lead to thinning, receding hairlines, characteristic hair loss, even the outer third of the eyebrow starting to disappear. Many times this is going to be just seen as a downstream effect, if you will, of being older or hormone imbalances with estrogen, testosterone, etc. Often your being told we need to do things like over-the-counter prescriptions or things that can help with hair regrowth, minoxidil, Rogaine, etc., or take biotin, do more B supplements, which will help your hair grow back, even B vitamin infused shampoos. But again, if the hair loss is driven by an autoimmunity of Hashimoto's or by a conversion challenge where reverse T3 is elevated, it's never going to get solved. The issue often is that the immune system is physically attacking the thyroid, disrupting the hormone output, simultaneously triggering a systemic base of inflammation that can attack the follicles of hair on your scalp and in your eyebrows. This autoimmune storm is often misleading, and most physicians may run a thyroid antibody test, but sometimes that is still overlooked because it isn't high enough. So for example, antibodies of thyroid peroxidase need to score over 34 to be diagnostic as high. So what if it's 30? High, normal. Thyroglobulin antibodies need to go north of 1. What if yours is 0.5? If antibodies are present, what we would do is start looking, and I say we as in functional physicians, chiropractors, holistic doctors, we're going to look at the underlying root causes of the inflammation, which is almost always going after your gut, eliminating triggers to the intestines like gluten and dairy and wheat and corn and rice and oats, starting to help support your immune system and upregulate digestive functionality. Digestive enzymes, probiotics, glutathione, all activators that help to enhance liver and gut functionality. Then we need to actually start looking at the idea of using nutrient testing to see if that's possibly why your hair is thinning. Often signs of iron deficiency, zinc deficiency, selenium deficiency, collagen deficiency, B complex deficiency can also show up as thinning hair. We've seen patients with eyebrow loss and balding spots have hair fully regrown and restored within 3 to 6 months when you start to balance your thyroid hormone using an autoimmune component, looking at the nervous system's connection to your thyroid, looking at your gut and the microbiome and the potential leak and how that can trigger an immune reaction. This is the kind of whole body healing that happens in yourself, by yourself, predestined by God when you remove the underlying interferences. So if your brush is full of hair or your part is widening or your eyebrows are disappearing, don't chalk it up to aging or signs of stress. Your thyroid could be the underlying root cause. And I implore you to download the Thyroid Heal Thyself ebook because it will show you the tests that you need to get to discover if your thyroid is the root cause, and it shows you how to solve those same thyroid issues once the results are back. Simply text the word thyroid plus your name and email to 704-906-2094. You get the free ebook and you get access to the masterclass Saturday, August 16th. It's a couple weeks away from today, but it's already filling up. We have over 200 people pre-registered for this event. Join them as we show you how to solve this epidemic of subclinical hypothyroid, which more than likely you have. Number 7, this is a call to all ladies listening, infertility or irregular cycles. So for women struggling with infertility or regular periods or even heavy menstrual bleeding, thyroid often plays a hidden role in this. In fact, many cases of unexplained infertility are later found out that they had diagnostic hypothyroidism or even subclinical hypothyroidism as the true root cause. Thyroid hormone regulates the balance between estrogen, progesterone, FSH, and LH. These are all the hormones that orchestrate ovulation, menstruation, and fertility. When your thyroid drops below normal levels, it delays or can prevent ovulation altogether. It can extend what's called the luteal phase. This contributes to estrogen dominance. This will lead to irregular cycles, heavy bleeding, sometimes missed periods, and can actually disrupt your ability to get pregnant. Conventional approaches are almost always looking at those fertility hormones, rarely ever looking at thyroid hormones. Because once again, TSH is often tested and usually considered to be borderline normal, and they're like, it's not a thyroid problem, so therefore we're not going to connect it to the infertility. Even many fertility clinics, people have been put on hormones like progesterone or spent thousands of dollars doing IVF cycles when it could just be your thyroid hormones are simply out of balance. Thyroid hormones, particularly Hashimoto's, where there's an autoimmunity, can actually increase the risk of miscarriages and difficulty with regulating normal cycles. So in functional medicine, as we've always discussed, we're going to start looking at the entire landscape of your thyroid. Here's the testing you should get. TSH, because you have to. We just got to see where it's at. T4, but you have to do both free and the bound to a protein and free. T3, active thyroid hormones. Most people never get tested. You also have to look at the free and the bound. Free is the most important. It's the one that's available to sit around and actually do activation of thyroid receptors. Then we have to look at reverse T3, that toxic thyroid hormone that can make you sluggish and fatigued and tired and gaining weight. Then we have to go even deeper, thyroid antibodies, TPO, the production enzyme, thyroglobulin antibodies, the actual hormone itself. Your body could physically be attacking the production or the hormone. The goal is to restore the harmony. This means improving thyroid function, helping your body to innately balance estrogen and progesterone, reducing autoimmunity. And this means we have to go into the gut. Dysbiosis and leaky gut are major factors behind autoimmunity and hormonal chaos. And you might be saying to yourself, Dr. Ernst, I thought you were talking about infertility. Now we're talking about the gut, because the gut is connected to the thyroid and the thyroid is connected often to infertility. So if you're a female and you're dealing with irregular periods or fertility challenges or repeat miscarriages, don't just accept vague answers. Look deeper. Your thyroid could be the culprit that could unlock your path towards better cycles and maybe even a pregnancy in the future. Symptom number 8, muscle weakness and aches. I'm going to pause here for a second because this is by far the most overlooked challenge. Joint pain, stiffness, achiness. If you feel soreness, not the kind that's like after you work out, but you're waking up in the morning with chronic, dull pain, a heaviness in your limbs. Maybe it's a weakness. Patients often report that their arms or their legs feel like lead, like they're just being dragged down. Even with basic activities, walking around your house just sucks the life out of you. Going up and down the stairs, etc. These are classic signs that your thyroid is having a challenge in protein synthesis. Did you know your thyroid hormones make you build muscle, make you repair your tissues, make you activate your mitochondria, which gives you energy? So when active thyroid hormone levels, T3, are low, your muscles lack the fuel and the structural integrity that they need to maintain strength and function. So what happens over time? Well, muscle tissue starts to break down. This leads to fatigue, even sometimes weakness, even lack of muscle mass. And conventional medicine is going to look at this and say, well, welcome to aging. They might even give you muscle relaxers or pain pills to try to cover it up. But they're looking at the wrong source. Your thyroid is considered the active purveyor of your muscle functionality. In functional medicine, we're going to, again, go deep. We have to look at reverse T3, T3, free T3, bound, etc. But there's key nutrients in joint pain and muscle fatigue and weakness like magnesium and CoQ10 and carnitine. All of these are important for muscle production and strength and energy. We have to look at mitochondrial output. Are you actually producing ATP? And many of these factors correlate to why joints hurt and muscles are achy and fatigued. So when we optimize thyroid hormones, when we balance mitochondria, when we target nutritional therapies to what your body says it needs, you will start to see improvements. And I've seen patients bounce back from muscle weakness, loss, etc. I'll give you a few things you can do. Red light therapy, really good for anti-inflammation and joint pains. It increases blood flow and helps to actually activate the mitochondria to stimulate energy production. Chiropractic care, by far one of the greatest things you can ever do to stimulate your body into a natural state of healing, removing pressure on the spinal joints and nerves to open up the nerve pathway so your brain talks to every joint in your body. You cannot repair a joint if neurologically the joint is disconnected from your central nervous system. Subluxations in the spine, often in the mid-neck, back, low back, they spread their inability for regeneration to show up into shoulders, elbows, knees, wrists, ankles, hips. Extremity joints are almost always connected to a spinal subluxation at some region of the area of the spine correlated that joint. So upper extremity, hands, knuckles, elbows, shoulders, cervical thoracic spine, neck and upper back, hips, knees, joints in your feet, ankles, etc. Almost always lumbar spine and pelvis. So if you're feeling physically weak, no matter what you do, or your muscles are burning out faster than they should, don't assume it's that you're out of shape, you're getting older, it's just your genetics. It could be your thyroid. And again, you might be saying, well, how am I supposed to know what tests I need to get? Well, I've listed to you multiple times. They're in the Thyroid Heal Thyself ebook. I even have a guide for you how to read them when they come back so you know what to do with it. Simply text the word thyroid plus your name and email to 704-906-2094. Again, 704-906-2094. We'll send the ebook to you for free, and best yet, the masterclass on Saturday, August 16th. Guys, I do these live every month where I take patients and people like you through a journey of how to restore your body from the inside out. Specifically on this one, we'll talk about the top 3 reasons for hypothyroidism. We'll discuss why so many people have autoimmune Hashimoto's and how you can actually break away from that. Watch your TPO and your thyroglobulin antibodies drop. So if you're listening today and you've been taking Synthroid, Levothyroxine, Armothroid, and you're going, could I actually possibly get off these? The answer is yes, if you go deep enough to find the trigger and the underlying symptom root cause. Symptom number 9, this is a big one, elevated cholesterol. Many people are shocked to discover, ready for this, that the reason your cholesterol is high is not always your diet or eating fatty foods or your genetics, but it is connected to an underactive thyroid. If your cholesterol is high despite changing your diet, using medications, exercising, your thyroid might be the overlooked factor as to why your cholesterol levels aren't coming down. Thyroid hormones are responsible for regulating your LDL receptor activity in the liver. So listen, ready? Active thyroid hormone T3 stimulates the receptors in your liver to physically remove LDL cholesterol from your bloodstream. So when T3 levels are low, the process slows down and LDL levels start to accumulate in your liver and your blood, regardless of how much you exercise, change your diet, take supplements, etc. The conventional approach is often, again, looking at these numbers, HDL, LDL, triglycerides, and almost always going straight to a statin. Rarely will doctors start looking at thyroid to discover if that's why you have cholesterol issues. And to make it worse, the cholesterol medications themselves also irritate the liver, which make it more difficult for your thyroid to be converted properly in the first place. What makes it even worse is statins reduce CoQ10, which depletes you of cellular energy, making fatigue, which is usually already a challenge for most people, even more rampant. And again, as you know, these medications do nothing to go after the root cause of the hormone issue in the first place. So here's what I would propose. If you have elevated cholesterol, you should get the thyroid levels testing done to see if you have imbalances beyond just TSH and T4. If free T3 is low and LDL is elevated, that is a thyroid reaction as to why the cholesterol is a little higher than it should be. So in this instance, we're going to examine liver function. We're going to look at phase 1 and phase 2 detox pathways. We're going to look at insulin sensitivity and find out if there's pre-diabetes involved. All of these impact cholesterol regulation, but the solution, again, is around proper thyroid hormone balancing, supporting the bile and the phase 1, phase 2 detox processes within the liver. Taurine is great for this. Choline is good. Milk thistle, fantastic for this. Reduces inflammation, helps to get the liver systemically back on track again. And often what you'll find is when your thyroid levels start to improve, ready for this? And like as if we were shocked, LDL levels start to naturally come down because your liver will excrete it the way it was designed. We see patient after patient after patient come in with taking statins, but their thyroid was the underlying issue. We work together, nerve to thyroid, gut to thyroid, liver conversions, clean out everything on that. And then all of a sudden, cholesterol levels start to come back to normal. So if your doctor is currently saying to you, it's your cholesterol, you might want to reply, or is it my thyroid? And get the right testing done to find out. Symptom number 10, poofy face, swollen eyes, fluid retention. Again, it's a big deal. The final symptom is something of visual signs you'll see. So baggy, poofy under your eyes, swelling around your eyes, swelling around the cheeks and the face, in your hands, in your joints. This occurs because low thyroid hormone slows lymphatic drainage, and it creates the accumulation of this gel-like substance within your skin called a mucopolysaccharide. You've probably never heard of it. Google it, mucopolysaccharide. This condition, if you were to look it up, is called myxedema. It's where your skin starts to look like it's bloated dough, like pizza dough, for example. It's a physical representation of an internal shutdown metabolically. Conventional medicine may say stuff like it's allergies or it's sinus problems or it's, fluid retention because your kidneys are not working. But unfortunately, none of these are addressing the root issue, again, of the thyroid. Gentle lymphatic drainage can help. Dry skin brushing, yes. Rebound exercises, of course, but we got to go deep enough to see, is the thyroid actually the culprit? When patients begin to truly address their thyroid, you'll often see the poofiness around the eyes disappear, the fluid retention, cheekbones become more evident, bags under the eyes disappear. Fluid comes out of our joints. We feel more energetic, better flexibility. So if you're running to the mirror every day going, I wonder if my bags under my eyes are coming from my sleepless nights or for whatever else, again, it could be your thyroid. So the final 5 signs of thyroid are often overlooked. Hair thinning, infertility, muscle weakness, high cholesterol, facial poofiness, fluid retention. When they're viewed in isolation, they can seem completely disconnected. But as I've mentioned, as a whole, if we look at the body integrative, they all point back to the central control system, your thyroid. And if you recognize these symptoms, you're not alone. But that doesn't mean that you're beyond getting help. You just have to go deep enough to find out which one is it for you, and that goes deeper than just doing a TSH test like most physicians do. I highly encourage you, download the Thyroid Heal Thyself ebook. It has a secret cheat sheet that you can take to your physician and say, hey, run these tests. You can even have us do it if you want through the Ask Dr. Ernst networks. You can join us for the masterclass Saturday, August 16th, and have a breakthrough specific to you. We survey every attendant to find out what specifically do you need help with. And the live conversation is to say, Mary, Susan, John, Jack, whoever, here's what you need. Here's what you can do to get your body to heal by itself. So let's stop chasing symptoms and start restoring function. You don't need more prescriptions. You just need personalized paths back to health. That's what functional medicine is about. That's what Thyroid Heal Thyself is about. Text the word thyroid plus your name and email to 704-906-2094. Ebook yours free. Masterclass Saturday, August 16th, free. Here's the best part of free. It just requires you to take an action. I'll give you everything you need. You just have to send us your name and email so we know who to invite and who to send it to. Thanks for tuning in today. You've been listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Next week, we continue the conversation on thyroid, but watch this, on how the foods you eat may be making it more active or underactive, and what you can do to start burning fat fast, getting your thyroid back on track by going deeper into this hormone called reverse T3. All that next Saturday. But Jay, take a moment right now. I can see the text coming in, 704-906-2094. Your name, your email, the word thyroid. All the information will be sent to you free today, and I'll see you on the 16th for the masterclass live in the comfort of your home through your computer. You have to do nothing but just listen, pay attention, and take action, and your body can heal by itself. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next Saturday. Be blessed. Have a great weekend.